All right, we are looking forward to that. We're always impressed with the knowledge that this next guy that visits every single morning about 9 o'clock has. And we say good morning to the one and only Professor Jeff Stein and try to figure out where in the world he is. Hello, Professor. How are we this morning?
I'm doing very well. It's a windy day out here, so that was helpful as I drove to the southern part of the state, if that helps narrow it down for you.
Okay, I can see you're in your favorite department.
I was gonna say, got a little booze going on there behind you there, Professor. What you doing this morning?
Well, I'm having a tremendous day, obviously. No, actually, I'm at the Hy-Vee in Washington, Iowa. I had to pick up a few supplies. No, actually, we're doing my radio program here from 10 until 11, and I'm going to do something we haven't done. I'm going to put the camera on a dolly so you can actually see. Look at this. This is a moving shot.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Hi, you guys. Okay. Waving in the background. There you go. Perfect. All right. That's very cool.
So, the reason we're here is because we partner with our television partnership for weather coverage. They have a weather radio event. So they're setting up all the folks here in Washington County with brand new weather radios, getting them all set to get ready for severe weather season. So we made the drive down here as well. So I'll be right here in my favorite department, as Jackie noted. Live on the radio from 10 until 11. And you asked yesterday, I did get a chance to speak with the governor in Grinnell. She sends her regards, and folks can listen to KXCL AM 1540 just after 10 o'clock, and they'll be able to hear that interview as well today.
That works.
Love it. Well, it is severe weather season, as we've seen already in various parts of the country. But yeah, anytime I'm going to pick up a bottle of wine, I'm always thinking, I need to pick up a severe weather
radio. Yeah. But they have a great program going on. So if you're watching in that area, in the Washington area, swing on over there and they'll take care of you. But, you know, some of the greatest inventions, speaking of weather radio, some of the greatest inventions have come from Iowa. And we've talked about some of them before, right here, Professor. And the development of the workforce adapted to meet those needs, that's as important as anything else, isn't it?
Absolutely right. By the way, I should note, this is the customer service department. We didn't just set up. Did our gift cards here? It's a much different thing.
Somebody's going to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, helpful smile, point me in the right direction of.
Thank you for clarifying, Professor.
I'll be selling lottery tickets later for people for Powerball. No, you're right. We have had some wonderful inventions that have been created in the state of Iowa, and they have required specialized workforce to adapt to these various needs. In 1880, a gentleman by the name of William Fisher invented the Fisher Type 1 constant pressure pump governor in Marshalltown. Now, that's a fancy name for something that regulates the flow through a pipe. And as that became popular, William Fisher invented the Fisher Governor Company in Marshalltown to produce them. Now, that company has gone on to become one of the oldest and largest process control companies in the world, making control valves and regulators. And in fact, that Type 1 remains virtually unchanged. It's still a part of the Fisher Company product line today, even though it was invented something like 140 years ago. Now, Fisher's company was always a family affair. After William died in 1905, his wife Martha took his place as president. Son Jasper Fisher returned home to Marshalltown in 1912, and he ran the company his father founded for 26 years until he passed away. Then, as was the case a generation before, Jasper's wife Edna became president, while Jasper and Edna's son Bill learned the business, and Bill Fisher himself became president of the family company in 1954.
So it wasn't a family business, but there was a lot of family business and other aspects, correct, Professor?
Absolutely. It was family owned and very much family operated.
Okay, there you go.
Bill prided himself on treating workers themselves like extended members of the family, including summertime picnics for all the employees. But as the 1960s progressed, there was pressure on the workers at Fisher Governor to unionize. Now, prior to 1962, Marshalltown was a non-union town. Several attempts to unionize Fisher Governor had failed over the course of time. But then on this date, April 12th of 1964, Fisher employees did vote to be represented by the United Auto Workers. But it was by the narrowest of margins, 453 for, 435 against. Now, that changed the Marshalltown labor landscape as the UAW wound up organizing 7 more plants in the Marshall County seat. employing 2,500 workers in the city.
Now, that was a huge change, and it directly affected this company, Fisher Governor, right?
Absolutely, Lou. The shift to unionized workers disappointed Bill Fisher, who would wind up merging his company with Monsanto just 5 years after that UAW vote. Now, today, the original Fisher Governor Company is part of Emerson Process Management, and while international company growth under the Fisher name did continue into this century, high labor costs forced the closing of the well-known Center Street plant. It also caused a series of worker layoffs. The unionization of Marshalltown's workforce began when the United Auto Workers Union was certified at Fisher Governor, and it was on this date in Marshalltown in 1964.
Wow, and you said that original valve basically is what we're talking about here. That original valve in it basically his basic form is still in effect, right?
Absolutely, it's still part of the catalog, which goes to show even the simplest design can be timeless.
There it is.
Well, we wanted to make sure you can get back to your customer service duties there, Professor. So remind everybody where they can follow along. I love that. Family run, treating employees like family, and creating something here in Iowa. Where can we get more of those details?
I'm looking at the produce aisle. I think it needs stocking, so I'll have to tend to that.
Go clean up the lettuce aisle, okay?
I draw the line at the cleanups. IowaAlmanac.com, also on Twitter and Instagram at Iowa Almanac.
Hey, customer service guy, can you check my perks card and see how many cents off I get for gas? Because I need to fill up here in a little bit. Can you do that for me, sir?
I'm sorry, yours has been revoked.
Professor, have a good weekend, buddy.
You're a good man, sir. We'll see you on Monday.
Talk to you Monday.
All right, have a good one, guys.
Bye. Could you imagine going to customer service in Washington, Iowa, and seeing Stein behind the counter?
Love it.
That would be
like, do I have some dry cleaning here? No, I would love it. I would love it. He's such a good guy.
No,
if you are in the area, please go see him.
And then listen to the governor on his show coming up in less than an hour.
Perfect.
So as soon as we get done, you can turn on his radio show. Perfect.
Love it.
All right, it is 9.